Okay, so we have Cynthia G, y'all, and I just had to address something. She kind of like kicked me off her little show or whatever. And I'm not saying that she is wrong about everything that she says about black men. However, you can't have it both ways. You can't sit up and talk about black men and then you still want to practice the shit that you accusing them of doing. It just don't work like that. Um, she on here talking about I would rather have okay, you 1 minute you claiming that black men don't marry. They have the low marriage rate. They have the lowest marriage rates. They don't take care of their kids. They, all this dust that she claimed they do. And I'm not saying that it's not true. However, you have to stand you have to be firm in what you stand on. If you're gonna be on one side, you have to stand on that. You can't be a double speaker. You can't be double minded. So, 1 minute she's talking about black men are the least to get married, but then you online, but then you out of that same mouth, you teaching your audience that one of the main things that has gotten black women where they are socially as far as dating and marriage is birthing children unwed out of wedlock. So you can't sit up and say black men are the least to marry, the least this, they don't take care of their kids, but then you on here promoting being a baby mama. She was on here talking about, yeah, when I have a baby, I am gonna have it out of wedlock. I am gonna have a baby out of wedlock and all this kind of stuff. But then out that same mouth, you complaining that they don't marry, that they don't do that. And one thing I will say, that is the wrong message to be sending any black woman because that is what's wrong with this community is because we have not lived a moral life. We have gotten away from that. Birthing children by any man out of wedlock is not a good look, especially for black women. But and so if you're gonna call them out on being the least married, you definitely can't be practicing the same dust that you're accusing them of. I don't give a damn if you got a baby by a white man. If you his baby mama, you still his baby mama. How you gonna sit up and say that it's better to have a problematic dumb baby daddy than to deal with an ex-husband? What kind of shit is that? Like, that is so backwards. Like, what kind of teaching is that? It's like you want to be a hood rat and do it the hood rat way, but you just don't want the backlash that comes with it. Or let's just say you desperate. Let's just go on and say you just like the rest of them and you admitting that, hey, look, ain't nobody gonna propose to me. Ain't nobody gonna try to wife me up. Then she tried to throw Ebony K. William in there, and she know that's not really how she meant that. She only meant that when I started going in on her and telling her, hey, look, that ain't cool. That's not how you do that. You ain't supposed to be sitting up. You 1 minute you talking about black men in their dust, but you sitting up here agreeing to help them in their dust. No, that's not how that works. And then you want to try to use Ebony K. Williams. Yeah, Ebony K. Williams is different. Ebony K. Williams went and did what is that? The IVF treatment, the shots or whatever. That was a different moral way to birth a child, but that's not what she said, and that's not how she meant that. She only done that because she got called out on it. I don't like her double speaking at all. And then she trying to go after Umar. She said DEI is the same thing as the civil rights movement. Okay, before Cynthia G got put offline, she was sitting up talking about black men ain't did shit. They didn't. The civil rights movement wasn't about nothing. All the civil rights movement did was to integrate black men with white women and just be under white people. She had a totally different perspective on the civil rights movement as well. Now she's using it as a way to try to attack black men. Like, okay, so now Trump taking DEI from y'all. What are you gonna do about it? So you can't do that kind of stuff. It's just disingenuous. And you before you got put off YouTube, you was sitting up saying something completely different about it. So man, I can't sit up there and rock with that. Hell no. A lot of stuff that she say is true, but you sitting up talking about Christianity and religion. I got a problem with that. And you got a problem not to be a Christian. I mean, you have a right not to be a Christian. That's your choice. But you're not finna sit up and say, oh, well, black men this, black men that. But then you gonna sit up and say, oh, yeah, I'm gonna be a baby mama. I'm gonna have my child out of wedlock and all this kind of stuff. But then you talking about black men for doing it. No, girl, it don't. And these people, that's the problem that I have with YouTube. Not YouTube itself, but a lot of these, she is so misleading because so many of these people, they get on YouTube looking for guidance. And I just be sitting back like, this is sad. Because so many of these people, they don't know shit. All this stuff that I'm hearing from Tariq and even Cynthia, I learned that shit at home. Didn't nobody have to teach me. I ain't got to go to YouTube for nothing. I can go right to my parents and my mom, my father, who was married. And so that's where I got my wisdom and my knowledge from. Ain't nothing Cynthia G and Tariq or nobody else on this internet can teach me. And you already dealing with a low morale group of people, and that's what you gonna sit up and tell them. I just had to address that shit, especially since she took a shot at me. And then she wanna say, oh, get your raggedy ass off the line. Girl, we not gonna talk about the fact that we know you ain't got no hair. This bitch bald headed as fuck. And them eyebrows, I don't know what she done did to them eyebrows, but Cynthia, come on. That's the least thing you need to be saying is talking about somebody. Because, girl, I pulled my real hair down. And that alone will sit you down. Because you are absolutely bald headed. You don't have any hair. None. None. And I don't like talking about women like that because I understand that might be a condition. I don't know what's wrong with her. But, girl, keep your mouth off of women and stop misleading these women. If you gonna say, if you gonna stand for morality, stand for morality. If you not, you not. But you can't mix that shit.